cutting my sign off. Let's go with that, huh? Anywho, we have a Kennit Be Turned sticker in the mail. I thought he had a YouTube channel, positive. I think he does. If he does, I'll put it in the link below and, you know, over there. He does have an Etsy store, and I was totally confused when I got the letter. I'll put it so you can see it, but it's too close. I was under the impression his name is Kennit, but that's where he's from. Apparently, and Kennit Be Turned, I get it now, just never put it together. But it's Mert, I guess, Mert, what'd you do with the letter? I just had it. Hang tight. Yes, it was Mert. it slid over there. So this week I'm not really going to do a project because my shop's an absolute mess at the moment. I do have some things going, we'll talk about them, but I get a lot of covering my tools. Most of my tools are old, but let's get this guy's sticker up on the board. And, oh, how about right? I think you'll fit right there. Wood and acrylic turning. I'm really confused. Can you tell? so anyways, I got a business card and their flyer for. But like I said, Etsy and I'm pretty sure he's got a YouTube channel, so I'll put that up there also. But anyways, one of my wonderful viewers sent me this stuff. That was really generous of you and not necessary at all. So I've had to move my grinder, and I tried to order the other stone. It is currently out of stock, and that's an 80 grit. You know, looking at the 180, I know I should have it over there, but currently at the moment that's where I put it because I need the swing room for reshaping everything. I don't quite understand why it's way over here. It should be the other way, I would think, because you know, you swing out that way, and even if this is on that side, it's still a little platform and not this big platform. But you know, whatever. I do appreciate it. Keith, by the way, I believe it was Keith that sent this. Yeah, thank you. All right, so let me pop you guys off of here and turn the camera around, so hang tight. Come down here. Okay, so after editing all that, I'm gonna redo this again, my soft motion sickness. So anyways, the grinder is a Rikon 8-inch, slow speed to 1750 RPMs. And the only other thing I got, this thing is great. I didn't know what the difference between spindle gouges were and bowl gouges. And this actually shows you. So now I know with the one-way system. So you got one for whatever grind you want, depending on what that says anyways. But this is, you know, you set it to however, 2 different settings on it. I'll probably figure that out a little bit better here soon. I don't know what these are for yet. They were in it, and I haven't quite found them in anything. And then one of my bowl gouges is not fitting that, so I'm gonna use the Nova that I had for this already, because it does fit in here. So just on that one bowl gouge, I can still set this how it's supposed to set, but I'll use that just for that one specific gouge. All right. Okay, so my drill press, it's just a cheapie from Tractor Supply, like $150 for a pedestal drill press. And it does its job. This thing I've had 20 years or so, and it's probably that and then some. Older than that. It's seen better days. It grunts and it groans, it makes all kinds of noises. I hope it holds up for a little while till I can get a better one. These things are just wore out. And over there is a 14-inch DeWalt miter saw or chop saw, whatever you want to call them. And alongside of it is a 13-inch thickness planer, a rigid thickness planer. And right here This monster with a 52-inch rip fence on it is a Jet Gold Series table saw. And I was doing kitchen cabinets, that's why I have these things way back in the day. I've had this 20 years, the chop saw and the band saw that long also. Some of my tools, now that I'm using them a little more regularly, they're giving up. You know, they've set around out here in the barn, you know, not in the weather, but, you know, humidity up and down, and electrical parts just don't like that. So, like, I recently bought, I know it's underneath there, hang on. I had to buy a new sander. That's also Harbor Freight. The Craftsman I had, we used it for a little bit, and then one day it stopped moving and started smoking. So, as you can see, I have an absolute mess in here. I'm in the process of trying to figure out a better plan for all this. That stuff over there, those are cut off from the bowl blanks I made, but I'm going to do scrap bowls with those. Behind everything back there is a bunch of maple, hard maple, that was taken down here last fall or so. And it's got anchor seal on it, and it's drying, but I want to get it out from under there. I want a shelf like this one here, go all the way across. So that board's gonna, that board down there, all the way over there. I'm gonna cut it, make one shelf all the way across there, and try to get some kind of organization to it. And then, hang on, let me get you over there. So anyways, the lathe I'm using is a Galaxi DVR, Nova Galaxi DVR. It's a bit overkill. If I want to do something outboard, I can turn the head. I haven't done anything that big yet that I couldn't do over the bed. This is a replacement for a project I'm working on. I'm not happy with the project. If the young lady that ordered it wants it, that's fine, but I'm going to turn a second one just in case and give her that option. As far as this lathe, I've had a lot of questions on it if I like it. I do like it. There's a couple issues. I've got a vibration at 750 with something on it. Even if I'm sanding, so you know everything's true at that point, but I still got a vibration in it. Their theory is to don't turn at that speed. Turn it faster or slower. Well, that doesn't fix the problem. It's just like a car tire. You know, yeah, I can go faster and it stops, or I can go slower and it stops, but it still didn't fix the issue. Right here, this little keypad, it doesn't stay stuck down, so I've got tape over top of it to try to keep the debris out of it, because it interferes with your controls. But other than that, it's great. It holds up. I've turned things or ink pens anyways, 3,500 RPMs on this. Sometimes you just, the faster it goes, the better it turns, I guess. But normally I don't run it more than about 1,500 if I'm doing anything, 1,250 on my bowls, or depending on what kind of cut I want. Then I was asked about my monitor. How am I filming that, hooking it up? See if I can move you all over there. So anyways, all I'm doing is I'm running I think it's a micro, where is it? There it is. HDMI or whatever one plugs into here. And then, so we get it to, well, I don't have a card in it. It might not come on. And then I just power it. I took the battery out because all it does is just get hot because it's trying to charge it. And it's just run direct into the monitor. And one of these turns it on. Oh, okay, it'll come on. I don't have the SD card in. I don't know if y'all can see it anyway, it's all dusty. It tends to get dusty. So anyways, I take the micro SD card out, put it in there, do whatever filming I gotta do, put it back in this, and then plug this back into the desktop and upload it and then do my editing. But it's direct into the monitor. That's all the monitor is doing, is allowing me to see what the camera's seeing. And that way I can put it wherever. This selfie stick thing is, you know, one of my creations, and you can see it's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't ever want to stay where I put it, but I can move it around or whatever, you know. It's a pain, but it works sometimes. It is what it is, you know. No, I don't need to be in that. Let's look at my ugly mug. The other thing I get asked about is my spray gun. All right, it's cheap. It's $8 or $9 at Harbor Freight. If you have access to Harbor Freight, it does the job. I didn't need a lot of money or an expensive airbrush for what I'm doing. I had to tweak a few things, that mixture, because it won't push that solid lacquer through it, so I had to thin it. And you know, it's just trial and error until I got it right. I still don't have it perfect, but I mean, I'm really close. You get a really nice finish. The lacquer, I used to have an account with a company, and that's how I get it. I don't know if you can actually buy it outside of not having an account with anybody. Most I could do is say, go to the ML Campbell site and see where you can get it in your area. I just happen to have a lot of it. I'm redoing the hardwood doors in the house. Well, I use a full-size spray gun, you know, and I needed gallons of it by the time I get done. After you seal it, stain it, seal it, and spray a couple coats of top coat, I call it. So you get that gloss finish, and then, you know, take them back in and put them in the house. But solid oak doors are heavy. Everybody wants to know about the pressure pot. A lot of people use this. This is a same thing, Harbor Freight, the Central Pneumatic. It's not one of the top line pressure pots. These are paint spray pots. So essentially you put your paint in here and then a spray gun to it with the hoses or what you need. Then you set the pressure based on the regulator time. Now I removed all that. I didn't like how that worked. It didn't work for me. Everybody sets these up their own way. I just control the air going in and then, you know, let the air out. The gauge is just to let me know how much and where I'm at. Your pop-off valve, I think it was either over there or here. No, it was over there. I moved it over here. You do have to adjust this when you first get them, because I think it pops off at like 35 pounds. And then I found a bucket to fit in this. I'm sure it might be in this. Yeah, it's in here. Now I had to modify the bucket so it would actually fit. So I cut all this off, and then the height, I think. No, maybe I didn't. Yeah, it looks like I cut the height off. Myers is the equivalent to Walmart, but this is a Michigan chain. This bucket, I think it's 2.5 gallons. It's a 2-gallon bucket. Now, I measured the bottom and the top, and I knew what the measurement was on this, so I knew where it sat. It's like 9 1/4 or something like that on the outside dimensions. So it would sit as tight as possible in here, so when I did molds, I could get as much of a bowl blank as possible. That's what it is. Somebody asked where I got that. I'm sure home centers or Walmart or somebody would have a 2-gallon bucket. But you do have to modify it to fit. And you do have to put a board in the bottom, or the bottom of the bucket, from the heat of the resin and the pressure, it'll cup and then it'll roll around. And then the pen blanks did well, or the ink pens did better than I was expecting. I put it up on a Tuesday because most of the ink pens I've done, they've just flopped. But I got a lot of orders for those. I had to order some Princess Princess pen kits. And the pink, I'm gonna do some with the leftover swamp stick from the vase, and do some bowl blanks out of that, or not bowl blanks, pen blanks, and see what I can do with those, and doing some pens. I got a clock I'm working on. I need to get that going. I got a lot of box elder, and that's what I have at the moment. I don't know how dry that stuff is down there yet. I need to dig it out and get my shop cleaned up. I get a lot of questions about what kind of lathe should I get. Whatever's going to work for you, basically. I mean, I started off with a used one. You could probably, if you look into, like, say, a woodworkers guild or a woodturners guild, get into one of those. Or clubs, you may be able to get a second-hand one fairly cheap. You don't really need that beast I have over there. Unless you want to do big ones. You know, get a little used one, and if you really like it, then upgrade from there. I liked it. I had that old Delta lathe 20 years. And I finally, after being here for 15 years, I finally pulled it out of the corner out there and I started using it. Well, after sitting around for that long, it's got issues, and so I just upgraded, and I got a fairly decent price on that when I bought it. It was on sale with a chuck, and actually the chuck's got 3 or 4 different chucks jaws for it. And yeah, that's about it. I don't know what else to cover. I get asked the same questions over and over again. Why do I use my table saw for a workbench? I get spanked all the time for that. Well, because I've got an 18 by 18 foot square in here and no room for a bench. That other room over there, as soon as it warms up and I can open the doors up and get things cleaned out, I need to reevaluate how that goes also, so I can do all this resin and all that on that side of the wall. But for right now, I've got way better lighting in here, and you know, I've been using this for a workbench for 20 years. Here it is. It still works, but it's here. It's solid. It doesn't move, and it's pretty much why I use it for a workbench. It's at the right height. The one back there behind you guys with all the stuff on it. Now that's based on the purlings in the wall. They run this way. They're not studs. They don't run that way. They're every 2 foot on center, so it's like 2 foot, 4 foot. So I don't have a 36-inch something to get a hold of in the wall. I guess I could have put legs on the back of it or whatever, but no, I didn't. I thank Total Boat for sending me the resin. They cut you all still, I believe, a 20% discount on the promo code. I think, I'm not positive, but I think I've also got Starbond coming on board. I'm talking to them. They emailed me, so we'll see. That might be hang tight. Heater's coming on. I don't remember where I was now. Stupid heater. But anyways, the resin art, I'm going to do some more of that. I got some ideas. I was talking about Starbond coming on. But Starbond, we'll see. I'm talking to him. I was talking about getting you all a 10% discount on it, or a promo code, basically. I'm not positive yet. See how that goes. It's not set in stone yet. I've also got this stuff. The equivalent to Yorkshire grit, I think. Nope. This one's the equivalent to the Hampshire Sheen. This stuff is shiny. Well, it goes on really nice. It's smooth. The abrasive paste is the equivalent to the Yorkshire grit. Mineral oils, beeswax, and Tripoli powder. It works exactly the same way. All I can really say is you get it about 2 days. I talked to the lady, Ann, at Acks, and 2 days later it was in my mailbox. That's all I'm gonna say. What else do we got? Anything? Well, things are looking good. Subscribers are just out of control. My email's out of control. I try to read and answer everything I can. It's getting a bit crazy. I understand when Nick says it's crazy. My emails are 300-400 a day. Next to comments and subscribers, and then people emailing me, asking me questions about things. Like I'll try to help you. I'm an amateur at this. I've been turning for a year. Oh, speaking of that, just over a year since I started, and I think we're almost 41,000. I hate saying that because every time I do, then it's like way higher than that. The other thing with the Starbond, they also talked about sending me some products to give away to you. So maybe if that happens, we'll get something figured out. Table saw's in my way, and I can just turn the camera. Oh man! So it's been a bit crazy. The weather's getting nice, and that's going to deter me because the lake is calling me. We need to go fishing, and then I need to go get the Ford out of hibernation. It's calling me too. I haven't driven the Ford all winter. Not that we go anywhere really fast. But yeah, sorry I didn't make anything. I'm gonna try. I got a few projects lined up. It's a bit crazier now doing 2 a week. My current business is kind of on its outs. I didn't plan on making this a career. It was just for people to follow my journey and what I was doing, and for family and friends to see how I made something. And it's gone just way further than I ever expected to go. I already got 22 minutes on this. How much am I going to cut out? Because I've already got it in the house and edited, and I'm going to cut that up and add more to it. But yeah, let me get back over there and talk about Kennit. Yeah, well, we'll see you Friday. Go over and check out Mert and Kennit. Can it be turned? Can it be turned? That's funny. And like I said, I'll put all those links in there, and we'll see you all next week or Friday, something like that.